So we are going to look into another FreeRTOS feature called direct to task notifications. So we can send notifications from one task to another task. There are two types of functions, or two ways of doing this. One is we will first look into a way where we are just sending a notification from one task or from an ISR, and another task is just receiving the notification, and we are not going to pass any value to it. And the second part, we are going to look into how we can do the same, but we are going to pass some values along with it. So the first part is really simple. It's only for just sending a notification. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So if you want to send a notification, so in my task 1 I will use a function x task notify give, and my input parameter is going to be the handler for the task that I want to refer to. So in my case, if I want to refer to my task 2, this is going to be my handler, because I have created my task 2 handle as the handler that I'm going to use to refer to my task 2. So I have created the handler, and I want to send a notification to my task 2 every 1 second. So I want to introduce a delay of 1000 milliseconds. So FreeRTOS delay of 1000 for 1 second. And in my task 2 I need to wait for a notification, so I will use a function called ul task notify take, and there are two parameters. The first parameter is going to be a 0 or a 1. If it is a 0, it means that once I get the notification value, then I'm going to decrement the binary semaphore counter. So a binary semaphore has a counting value of 1. So if it decrements, it will go back to 0. And if I keep the value of 1, then instead of decrementing the counter value, it's going to reset the counter value. But both of them are basically going to do the same thing, because the 1 decremented by 1 is 0, or even if it is reset, it is 0. So I will put the value of PD false. PD false is the same as 0. If you look into the value of PD false and PD true, that's 0 or 1. And my second parameter is going to be my blocking time, or for how many ticks I want to wait and keep this task blocked. So if I want to do it indefinitely, then I can use the precursor variable called port max underscore delay, and this is going to wait, and once it receives a notification, I want it to print notification received. Okay, but now this is going to work, but the problem is that now port value, the port max delay value has a value of 0x FF. So that's like a counter that will it will keep incrementing, but at some point this value is going to overflow. So in that case, this is unnecessarily going to move on to the next instruction and print the statement here, notification received, even though we have not received a notification, but since the blocking time has expired, so it will just move on to the next instruction. So to get rid of that problem, I'm going to check if this function equals to 1 or not. So if it equals to PD true, because this function will return me a 0 or a 1 value based on it receiving a notification or not. So if it equals to true, that means it has received a notification. So this is a good way of doing it, or handling the notification. So let's go ahead and let's run this program. So here in my terminal, you can see that it prints notification received every 1 second. So this is how we send a notification, a very simple way of sending notification from one task to another task. But the drawback of these two functions, the xtask notify give and xtask notify take, is that I'm not giving in any value. I'm not passing any integer value, or I'm not even passing any boolean value. So task 2 does not know that what is this notification about or what is the value. It just knows that, okay, I have received a notification and I'm going to do what is inside this if statement. So the only practical use of this I can see is, let's say that you have an LED that you want to toggle every time you receive a notification. So if I receive a notification, just toggle the LED, and maybe there it can be put into use. But a good way of using this notification feature, I will do it in part 2 of this video.